Hello, how are you today? Welcome back to my channel. This is Bookalina, and are we too close? Are we? I feel like I'm like really close. Are we? Are we too close? Are we close? Hello. Okay, so today I want to talk about my favorite books that I have read so far this year. This year is now more than half over. And I have read some really good ones, so let's get into it. First up on my list is The Troop by Nick Cutter. It is a horror novel in the zombie genre, and it was really terrific, very gory, very scary. Don't eat directly before or after reading it. Certainly don't read while you're eating it. But I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of the best horror books I have read in a while. Speaking of which, Stephen King recently was on, I forget which talk show, and he was asked what the scariest book he'd ever read is, and it's a book called Ghost Story by Peter Straub, I believe. And so I just started it. So I figured if it scared the hell out of Stephen King, I'm definitely going to give it a shot. So that will be on an upcoming video after I finish it. Next on my list is Such a Fun Age by Kiley Reid. It's a contemporary novel about a young woman who works for a rich family in Philadelphia, and she gets kind of entangled in a situation when she is accosted by a security guard in a grocery store while she's watching this little girl. And it's just great. The characters are all great. It was a very relatable story, and I just loved it. She's a wonderful writer. Next up is The Humans by Matt Haig. This is a, I would say, sci-fi leaning novel, but I wouldn't call it like a straight sci-fi novel. I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, but this book was excellent. It was so, I hate to say heartwarming because that's like really corny and cliche, but I don't know, man. My cold black heart was warmed by this story. I have to say, I cried. I laughed. Wow, that's pretty bad, huh? Okay, no, but it's about an alien that is sent to Earth to complete a mission. He is sent down to inhabit the body of a mathematician in England, and it's actually hilarious because, of course, he doesn't know anything about human behavior. He doesn't know anything about the culture. He doesn't know anything about anything. So really, from beginning to end, it's really clever. There's some scientific stuff in there, but it's all laid out in very layman's terms. I wasn't lost at all. The story is really wonderful, and yeah, it was just great. It was great. I did read The Midnight Library, which also I believe was released either this year or sometime last year, and I loved that one as well. But I enjoyed The Humans more. So, thusly, it is on my list. Next up is You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This book I have talked about in other videos. After I read it, I recommended it to literally everybody I know. It's a great suspense thriller. It's about a woman who witnesses another woman's jumping in front of a train in New York City, and the story that ensues is this tangled web of all kinds of twists and turns, and things popped up that I was not expecting. The characters are all fully fleshed out. They're wonderful. All the main characters are women, which I loved. That's rare in a novel. I blew through this book in just a few days. I cannot recommend this book enough. I know they have other books out. I've read two others, and I did like them, but I believe that You Are Not Alone really stands out. And my favorite book that I have read so far this year, I just finished it, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Oh my God. I cannot tell you how much I loved this book. So the premise is this. Something in space is causing our sun to dim. And we have to figure out what the hell is going on, or we're all gonna die. So there is a team of the best mathematicians, engineers, and scientists and astronauts that are put together to fly out to the sun in a Hail Mary to find out what is going on and what we can do to stop it. Otherwise, Earth as we know it is not going to be the same. We're all going to die in like 30 years. And oh my God, it's just so good. It's so good. I've never read The Martian, and I definitely want to read it now that I have read this one. However, I was talking to a friend of mine at work about this book, Project Hail Mary, and I was saying how it was by the same author of The Martian, and she said, "Oh, is that the one where blah 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 blah?" And she basically spoiled the ending by accident. So I kind of know what happens now in The Martian, which sucks because I really wanted to like go in fresh, you know, because I haven't seen the movie either. But I still want to read it just because his writing is so thoroughly enjoyable. Yes, there is a lot of scientific jargon in the book, but it's easy to understand. He lays everything out so that you are not confused. I don't know anything about physics or biology or astronomy or really any of that, and I was able to understand everything that was going on. The way that he describes things is it's just easy to understand for dummies like me. The ending, I personally loved. I could see maybe others perhaps not being so happy with it, but I absolutely loved it. I thought it was just the best kind of ending in that it satiated you, so you're not like, it doesn't leave you hanging. I hate ambiguous endings in books. It's one of the things that I just hate, and this just wraps everything up, and I just loved it so much from beginning to end. It is absolutely my favorite book so far this year. I plan to reread it at some point, not this year, but maybe, you know, somewhere down the line. Whether you've read The Martian or not, I very, very highly recommend this book. I give it an A. So that's it. That is my rundown of my favorite books so far this year. I will make another video like this probably in like December or January. I'm in the middle of 2 books now. Ghost Story, which I just mentioned, was one of them. And yeah, I'll be back with you guys really soon. Take care. Have a good weekend. Be safe. I will see you soon.